People, people, jump up with your people, people. Get on by with the people, people. Oh gosh, look the people, people. The people, people. Hello and happy Friday. I hope you are doing well today. We are dancing away with soca as usual. And we're going to pause that for a second. Hello, 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 hello. And Facebook is telling me to choose a new look. Really, Facebook? In the middle of my Facebook Live? Hi. And I'm back. All right, guys. Hey, it's your girl Esha here. Happy Friday. This is my Friday Facebook Live that I do every single Friday direct to you. Hope you are safe and well in your part of the world. Of course, many of us are still on lockdown. A lot of places have been dialing back plans to reopen, as you all have seen all over the news, and that this is not the purpose of the Facebook Live. So what are we doing today? So first of all, let me introduce myself. It's your girl Esha here, co-founder of Events by Ashe, and we are creators of Ultimate Trinidad Carnival, Ultimate Cropover, and the Eat, Dance, Travel series. And that song that I was just playing, one of my favorite songs by Kes the Band, called People, because you all are my people, and I am here to connect with all of you, which is very, very exciting for me, week after week after week. And bear with me, what am I trying to do right now? Facebook has changed all of its things around. So now I'm trying to find, here we go, home, my videos. So I can see if you are telling me hello or sending me comments or anything like that. All right, let us scroll around here. No. Okay, maybe I was in the right place after all, but they've moved things around. In any case, that was Kes the Band in People. As I said before, one of my favorite songs. I think that was from 2016. And definitely one of those songs that I really, really love to dance to, really, really gets me hyper. And yeah, just love it, love it, love it. All right. So if you're watching, I'm still trying to get to comments, so bear with me if you're saying hello and I'm not seeing you. Make sure that you drop a comment in this video to tell me hello. Tell me where in the world you're watching from. Here we go. Thank you, Facebook. Tell me where in the world you're watching from, and tell me what's going on with you. How was your week? We made it to the end of another week. Really, I feel like every Friday is just a day to celebrate because it's just been a crazy last few months, right? We're all completely out of our comfort zones, transitioning, moving into the next thing. So I feel like every Friday is cause for celebration because we made it. All right. So tell me how your week was, what was good for you this week, and where you're watching, wherever you are. All right, cool. So what am I going to be talking about today? I am going to be talking about what this past month have I been watching, have I been doing, trying to keep myself occupied creatively throughout this COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. So first of all, I'm going to talk about music. Always have to start out with music. Yay. And if you have been following us, then you know that we released our Summer Soca playlist this week on Tuesday, I believe it was. And that is, I thought about it because many, if not all, Caribbean carnivals have either been postponed or canceled or moved to a virtual format. So in case you were thinking about going to a Caribbean carnival this year and you were like, okay, so is there any new music out there? I thought it was important to create that Summer Soca playlist just for that. Just because there's no carnivals or they're postponed or they're virtual doesn't mean there is no new music, because of course, soca artists are working year round to create music just for you. So yeah, hence the Summer Soca playlist. So that is up. If you look at the links to this video, I will definitely post those in that link to the playlist for you all. It is a YouTube playlist. So there are some live videos, there are some image videos, and there is also a soca mix from DJ Gel himself, who happens to be one of my favorite DJs. He does a crop over charge mix every single year. And I was wondering if he was going to release it this year, and he did. Yay. So that Summer Soca playlist also has that mix in it too. So as I said, I will put the link for you to check it out. Highly, highly encourage you to. If you want to add some new songs to your favorites list, and just to dance, really, who doesn't want to dance? You know, we don't have these carnivals happening. As you can see, my background is up. This is Barbados, the view from the Hilton Barbados here, which I was so sad to not be at or not be in or on that island this year, honestly. Sadness all around, but I am keeping myself going with these pictures and music. So Summer Soca playlist it is. You're welcome. The second thing that I want us to talk about is what have I been watching? So again, if you are watching, please leave me comments, say hello, say what's up. Yeah, what have I been watching? So of course, Black is King dropped this month, or maybe it was late last month. Maybe it was late last month, but I'm gonna include it and talk about it here anyway. Loved it. Loved it. The visual imagery, the music, the dancing, the clothes, and the hair. So let me talk to you about that. Many of the hairstyles and a lot of the costumes that were worn by the Queen Bee herself in Black is King were actually created by Trini designers and hair artists. Yes. So Trinidad was and Tobago, mind you, because one of the braiders is from Tobago, I believe. They were all represented in Black is King, and that was really, really exciting to watch and really, really exciting to read more about once I watched it and just saw the amazing creativity that was in that movie or visual album, as it is called, but loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So that's definitely one thing that I was watching. Another thing that, interestingly enough, has been on my Netflix list for quite some time. And honestly, I don't know, I put it on the list, I think because it had a picture of Missy Elliott, and I'm not a huge fan of Missy Elliott. I mean, I don't own all of her music, but I do love her music. I do love her style and her message. There was a picture of Missy Elliott in the thumbnail to the video. And that's kind of what stopped me. As you know, you're doing your Netflix scroll and you're like, okay. Oh, Missy. Oh, this looks interesting. Add it to the list. And I have a list of so many things that I have not watched, as I'm sure we all do. But yeah, Missy was on the thumbnail for Hip Hop Evolution. And recently, again, going through the Netflix list, and I thought, let me just watch this. And I'm really making an effort to go through things that have been on my list for a long time. So Hip Hop Evolution it was. And I was pleasantly surprised. Even Tarek, my husband, he's like, you're watching that again? He's like, since when are you into hip hop? So what I am into with Hip Hop Evolution is the story, honestly. That's really what grabbed me and held me from the beginning, the stories of all of these rappers. So it's talking about the evolution of hip hop. This is the foundation of Hip Hop Evolution. It is talking about from the beginnings of hip hop in the 70s and the 80s. As you know, we're all familiar, well, many of us, I won't say all, many of us are familiar with those rappers who started the movement. What happened after that? You know, so going some into the late 80s, 90s, 2000s and beyond, it's just talking about influential hip hop artists and producers who changed the medium and pushed it forward or pushed it into a new area or arena that it had not previously been in or related to. I hope that makes sense. So what I'm enjoying is really listening to the backstories of a lot of the hip hop artists and producers who I know, you know, because they're part of mainstream and popular culture, or, you know, I was a lot bigger into hip hop in the 90s as well. So I know of them from that time, but I really didn't know anything about them as people, as about their lives, about the connections, like who introduced who to who and how did they get on the scene. And, so that has been really, really fun for me to watch. So Hip Hop Evolution, highly recommended. Even if you're like me, you're not a big hip hop person, it's still interesting to see the influences, especially on hip hop in its current form today. It's interesting to watch and see. So that's the second thing that I've been watching. As far as doing, of course, not doing much, but I have been doing some gardening. I have tomatoes and cucumbers, and my peppers are coming. And I had some zucchini. The zucchini plant is doing something a little bit weird right now, but I think I fixed it. So I'll be able to update you on that. So definitely doing some gardening. Of course, like everybody else, I've been doing a lot of meals at home. And this month in August, we didn't really no, we've been home. So, but from a hobby standpoint, I'm really excited. I have my day off next week, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But from a hobby standpoint, I finally finished and implemented a book that I've been reading for a long time. Many of you know I am an avid reader, and I got to remind myself to talk about books. So I've been reading The Curated Closet by, and I hope I pronounced her name correctly, Anushka Rees, for it's probably a year, because I think I started reading it last spring, possibly, in the hopes of finishing to read it, revamp my closet, because that's really what she takes you through. It's a very detailed step-by-step and thorough process of revamping your closet, figuring out what your personal style is, your color palette, reworking what you have in your closet to work with whatever you want your style to be, and then helping you shop for items that fill the gaps in your closet. So that really excited me, but it's a very thorough process, so it takes time. And honestly, I've read the book several times, but I just went through the steps really, really slowly. So my last day off in July, because I've been doing one day off a month, yay, especially since we're not traveling. I finally did the entire process. So where I had stopped off at was building outfit formulas, because she teaches you how to do that, because chances are there's already combinations of clothes that you wear all the time. So it's just thinking about it, writing it down. I did that, went through the color palettes, and then really analyzed what I had in my closet versus what my real life clothing needs were. And that was an interesting exercise, because I've always pretty much worked from home, with the exception of taking trips with clients. So yeah, that was an interesting process. So, and then from there, building that into an all-going list of what made sense for my lifestyle, what was already missing from my closet, including colors, cuts, fabrics, styles, seasons. We have seasons, 4 seasons here still, not as extreme as up north, but we do get 4 seasons. So yeah, finally went through that whole process. I was so excited, and it completely flipped my sewing list that I thought I had upside down. So I did a video last week about my hobbies, and I did talk about sewing and showed you some things that I was thinking of making. So going through Curated Closet just flipped it all upside down. It's completely messed up and changed around. So I'll have to do a sewing update, hopefully next month, because I think this upcoming day off, which is on Tuesday, that's my day off, I'm gonna do a staycation, and I'm excited. So I'm gonna get a chance. What am I gonna do on my staycation? I am gonna do some meditation, definitely, yoga, definitely. I'll probably pre-cook some stuff so I don't have to cook anything on that day, and I'm gonna chill out. So I'm thinking, and I'll definitely take pictures or do video if I can, or maybe do a live on that day, I don't know. But I definitely want to do a setup, like a staycation setup. So it's either going to be on my balcony, because I do have a not used enough balcony, where I can set up like a blanket and a beach chair and maybe stuff, snacks and drinks. And yeah, I'm still working it out in my head, but I definitely want to set up a staycation spot and tell you guys how that goes. And I'm even thinking of doing some planned staycations, seeing that many of us are not traveling, we don't feel safe enough to travel. I'm thinking about doing some planned staycations. And it'll be like a group activity where we have our staycations together, maybe do some fun stuff virtually, and you just plan out your staycation at home. So I'm thinking about doing that, perhaps having meals delivered to folks who are at home, order the meals on your behalf and all that stuff. And maybe have some lead classes online throughout this staycation. And I'm even thinking about like staycation in a box, put stuff that you are going to do on this group staycation and sending it to your home. So if that's something that you would like to do with us, put a comment in the box below and I'll be sure to respond if you have any ideas of what else could go into this staycation. As I said, I'm going to be thinking it through a little bit more when I actually do it on Tuesday myself. But if you have ideas, if there's something that you want to do, group staycation virtually, let me know and we'll make it like a Caribbean theme. Like every month will be a different Caribbean island. I am getting excited, as you can tell. Okay, so that is the staycation day off next week. And last but not least, what am I reading? As you guys know, I read quite a lot. So I'm reading 2 books right now. I recently finished, as I told you, The Curated Closet, and I recently finished The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. That was really good, guys. If you haven't read it yet, and as you all know, I subscribe to Audible, so I listen to things, but it was an absolutely riveting book, like from start to end. The material is definitely heavy because it is set through the time of enslaved African people here in the US. But it is really good, really well written. The story, the plot, it's just really, really, really good. So highly recommend The Water Dancer. What else am I reading right now? So I'm always reading some kind of business book. So The Content Rules is what I'm reading right now. About halfway through with that, and that's about building content to build your business basically and increase your online presence. So that's pretty good. And I just started reading, I think it's called The Wild Heart of Stevie Nicks. And this was an Audible freebie, so it wasn't anything I had to pay for. But you get as a subscriber, you get 2 free titles every month with Audible. I'm not advertising Audible, guys. I don't earn any money from them, but I just really like Audible because it's an easy way for me to read, right? Because I don't really have time to sit down and read a book. So I listen to it while I'm in the car or while I'm getting meals ready or sewing. I listen to my audiobooks. So The Wild Heart of Stevie Nicks was a freebie, as I said. And I did not know, I don't really know much of Fleetwood Mac's or Stevie Nicks' songs, to be honest, but it is a really interesting book. Anyway, so I recommend that as well. Okay, I think that is everything. One last reminder, I am hosting my second live cooking class with our Ultimate Insiders Plus family on Sunday. So if you have not signed up for Ultimate Insiders Plus, I will put a link to this video as well so you can join me on Sunday, because August was Barbados month, if you didn't know, for us. And I'm making the national dish of Barbados, which is flying fish and cuckoo. Now, if you're thinking flying fish, they don't actually fly. They kind of glide out of the water, but they do look like they're flying, hence flying fish. If you haven't seen flying fish where you live in your part of the world, not a problem. The recipe and shopping list has lots of substitutions for you. And if you don't know what cuckoo is, it is like a cornmeal, hearty, comforting food. Like it's just so yummy and filling with, Creole sauce on it, and with the fish, it's just a delicious dish. So you have to join me on Sunday when I am going to be cooking that live on YouTube, but only our Ultimate Insiders Plus members can access it. And that's the last thing I'm going to talk about. All right, let's see what comments we have down here. All right, no comments. And that is cool. We are going to keep it moving because I know you guys have been watching, but it's okay if you're shy and you don't want to say hello. So let's get the music back on going. That's everything that I had to talk about what I have done this month. All right. So let's get the music back on. I consider all your people, 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 people. All right, guys. Thank you as always for watching. I'll be back next week, every Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Be well. As always, till we next time.